Hey everyone, and welcome back to Woo Woo Wednesday, where I share my intuitive insight and weekly wisdom with you through the use of oracle cards. I'm super jazzed to join you this week because it has been quite a transformative week as far as people leaving behind the past and starting to embrace a new way of life and thinking. We just had a full moon in Scorpio, and woo, Scorpio rules death and taxes and transformation, and oh my gosh, do you guys feel like transformation's happening in your life right now? I know that massive changes are happening, whether they're conscious choices or we're being forced into them. So what's really important during this time is that we pay attention to what is changing and we allow ourselves grace through the growing process so that we can go with the flow in the areas that we can't control and that we can accept those changes when they are forced upon us. So I want to take a moment to tune in and see, how are you doing right now? What's going on in your world? Let me know if you're tuning in, watching live, where are you watching from, and have changes been coming up in your life this week and or this month? Everybody's being forced to somewhere in their life make a shift, whether it be their mindset, their routine, their job, or the way that they show up in their relationships. All right, let's see. Hey everybody, I'm from Boston. Daphne's here, Shira's here. It's so good to see all of you guys. So today I'll be pulling some cards from the Shine from the Inside Oracle, because self-care is really the thing that is the foundation for all success. If we don't have the energy to show up in our life or business, then we're not going to perform out to our best or even outside of our comfort zone, because it's going to require a lot more courage and energy to be able to do that. So the way that we refuel our vitality is through self-care rituals. Hey, so many changes. Started a little garden. I love that. Major integration of full self in my business. I love that so much. How many of you feel like you guys are becoming more of who you authentically are? Maybe this time, whether you've been stuck at home or however you've been affected by these changes, maybe you're finding your true authentic voice. Maybe you're starting to discover that part of you that's been buried or hidden for a long time. Let's see. Hello from Minnesota. Beth is watching in. Melinda's watching. It's so good to see you guys. So I know for me personally, these changes have caused a lot of ideas around, well, what if the way that I was operating, how will that look in the future, and how will people think or respond or react to that? And I know that that's probably coming up for you. If you're being called to be more true and authentic to who you are, you're most likely suffering from this or facing this fear of what are people going to think? How are they going to accept me if I've always shown up this way? How is it even going to be possible that they can accept this new version of me? Especially if you're talking about your romantic relationship. For example, if you're woo-woo and you're starting to come out of the spiritual closet and really get into reading cards or crystals, and your partner's like, I'm not there yet. I don't know what you're talking about, what's going on. So this could cause a sense of frustration in some of your relationships as you start to show up more authentically to you. And with Venus in retrograde, all of those relationships are going to come up to be reevaluated. So don't be surprised if you see an ex relationship, whether it be romantic or friendship, come back up into your life and recircle during this retrograde. One, for it to be healed, and two, so that you can find closure from that experience. All right, let's see. What else you guys have? Daphne says, I'm going to have to create boundaries for my office hours. Absolutely. Hey, Alyssa. Daphne says, abundance is flowing in more freely now that I am embracing my authentic self and accepting my emotions as they show up. Oh, so powerful. Exactly. Turns out it's not that much different, just adding intuitive guidance to my coaching. Well, that is wonderful. Even small tweaks can make a massive difference, especially in the way that you feel about something. Alyssa says, I ordered my Shine from the Inside Oracle deck. It should be here tomorrow. Woo woo! I am so excited and so grateful for each and every one of you for posting pictures, sharing the different spreads, letting us know what was your first oracle card that you pulled from the deck. That is my favorite thing. Like, what is the card that you pulled first? I want to know what's that first little taste of sparkle magic that happened. So I appreciate all of the support and the love, and you guys sharing the pictures and things like that with your friends really means the world to me. I've poured my heart and soul into this deck to help you really reclaim your power and set up better boundaries for self-care. I know that this week, we taught about how to become a badass empath inside the Elevated Life Membership Club, and self-care rituals are one of those things that contribute to how empaths end up showing up. If we don't have the self-care rituals in place, our boundaries tend to be extremely flexible, which means that we allow people to walk on us like a doormat and drain our energy. So if you're someone who struggles with setting up those boundaries and you're an empath who needs that type of protection and needs to know how to use that as a strength and superpower, then I highly recommend you come join us inside the Elevated Life Membership Club, where you can access the masterclass on becoming a badass empath. So for all of you empaths and light workers right now, your emotions are probably like this. Yeah, do you guys feel that? Where you're like, oh my God, one day I'm feeling so good, I'm vibing high, and then boom, the full moon in Scorpio comes around and knocks me down, and there's this huge, massive release that now I'm gonna have to process and deal with. The energy has been up and down and up and down with all the different rules and changes and guidelines that we're supposed to follow and protocols. Like, it is a lot. And so I have a feeling that if you're not taking care of your energy is taking care of you. And what I mean by that is you're feeling ungrounded, disconnected, and maybe feeling like a lack of clarity. Like, I don't know what my next steps are. So if you're someone who feels that, then it's important for you to find a self-care ritual that helps to bring you to the present moment and ground you, because we can get all up in our head and be intuitive and or analytical, and that takes us out of our heart space and out of the present moment. And what we know to be true is that the only thing we're gifted is the present moment. So when we're up in our head thinking and projecting, whether we're projecting what we do want or we're worrying about what we don't, we're leaving the present moment. And the present moment is how we actually access our intuitive guidance and the emotions that are coming up to help guide you through. So it's not just intuitive guidance, but it's also being able to pay attention to those emotions that come up. All right, energy is 100% on a ride. Kimberly says, hello, I love my new deck from you. Thank you so much. You guys have no idea. It's so amazing to see all of the love and support surrounding the Shine from the Inside Oracle. It honestly is such a beautiful gift that I feel like you guys are giving me by sharing how it is impacting your life and helping you to commit to your self-care rituals. One of the things that I did today, which will be coming out for you guys after the summer, is I created an Oracle 101 class so that you can learn how to use Oracle cards in your self-care rituals and routines so that you can build that solid foundation. Not only have the understanding on how to get started with Oracle cards, but how to use them to empower your self-care so that you can show up with loads of energy and clarity and confidence. All right, let's see what else you guys have. Alyssa says, yes, the energy has been insane. I've been having to ground myself a lot more the last few days. Absolutely. So getting your shoes off, going out into the grass, doing some grounding techniques, getting the crystals in your bra, you know, doing some nice deep breath work, yoga, all of these things will draw you back into your body in the present moment. Beth says, I'm having to stick more to a routine for meditation and yoga than before because I feel much more busy having to help my kids with school, and I can't get, and it can get put to the side. Absolutely. If you're having to show up more to parent your kids or to show up more in business, that is the perfect time to really put your self-care as a priority and do that first so that you're not filling other people from an empty cup, because you can't, okay? So you've got to take care of you. All right, let's see. Yes, roller coaster energy. Yes, one day I can take on the world and then the next day I can't keep my eyes open. How many of you have been taking loads of naps this last month or so? Feeling the need to get in my body. Absolutely. So we need to ground ourselves and we need to connect back to our physical being. Like, yes, we're souls and trapped in a spiritual, or we're spiritual souls trapped in a physical body. So we have to honor the balance that we really do need to ground ourselves, to create create the energy in our physical body, and then we need to practice quieting our mind so that we can build up that connection with our soul on a deeper level. All right, I'm gonna shuffle with the intention that you receive the message that you need most for this week as far as committing to your self-care rituals and eliminating the self-doubt that holds you back. 2 cards have already come up for this week. Bruh, so many naps. I tell you what, between you and Sam from the Crystalline Moon, I keep calling everyone bruh and bro. I feel like I'm some like California chick calling people bruh. I love it. You guys have rubbed off on me. I can't help myself. Okay, what else? Anything else? Okay, 3 cards have come up, so if you are ready for this message, smash some hearts, let me know by saying I'm ready, and I'll dive into this message with you guys. And actually, I'm gonna grab a drink of water. I just did a tarot reading for a beautiful woman over in Australia. She's like, it's Thursday, 7 a.m. I'm like, wow, so it just clicked, like, Woo Woo Wednesday in America is actually Woo Woo Thursday in Australia. So finished up the Oracle 101 class today, did a tarot reading with a beautiful Aussie, and now we're here for Woo Woo Wednesday. So I am just so grateful to be here with you guys. You guys are ready? I see all the thumbs up. Perfect. Let's do it. The first card for the week, oh geez, is let go of control and relax into flow. Okay, I'm gonna try to show all the situations here. Okay, relax, let go of control, and relax into flow. This is a beautiful message of exactly what we were talking about, is that you can't always control what happens in your external reality, but you can control how you respond in your internal reality. And my favorite Zen Buddhist philosophy is they say you'll end suffering when you accept what is. And when this card comes up, it's reminding us that if to let go of control means to accept and to surrender to the moment. And you guys have probably heard me share lately that I've been working on a course called Shift to help you move through those transitions with grace. And the first step, Shift, it's an acronym for Shift. S stands for surrender. I'm gonna give you guys the first tip because it's coming up here in this message, and exactly why I feel called to create this course to help you guys navigate these changing times. Because we have this false sense of security that our routines are happening every single day. It's perfect, no problem. Like, this is how we live life. But with something like COVID, we have been shown that it can automatically change. I've never been told to not work in my hair salon, and I couldn't control the fact that I was forced to go home. And so instead of suffering and fighting it and being like, but that's not fair, and how am I gonna pay rent, blah, 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 blah. Instead of playing that victim game, the way that we surrender is we say, okay, I accept what has happened. Even if you fucking hate it, even if it sucks, even if you don't like it, even if your mom almost died, even if your mom did die, even if you were a #MeToo, I understand that life brings us some bullshit sometimes, but you are gonna continue that suffering as long as you hold on to the fact that you're resisting the lesson that's trying to make its way into your life. So when this card comes up, it's a reminder to let go of control, of this false sense of security that you think you have around a situation, and realize that the only thing that you can do is to relax into flow by accepting and surrendering to the moment and saying, this may not be exactly what I think I want, and it seems crazy and I don't understand it, but I accept that this is happening. And when you accept that something's happening that's outside of your control, that you don't like, that is forced upon you, it gives you the opportunity to find this new sense of faith. And we do that by taking a step back and saying, I may not understand why this is happening now, but I can look back at all the experiences in my life that were forced or changed or painful, and I can accept that all of those things actually help to take me to a higher place, to help learn a lesson or to alleviate something that wasn't working in my life. And so we get into the flow and we relax by having that faith and trust and surrendering and saying, I don't know what's going on right now, and I don't even know my next step, but I trust the process. And it takes time to develop that kind of faith where no matter what happens, no matter how scary it is, that it will take time to develop that type of confidence. But if you're someone who's struggling right now, the best advice I have for you to be able to let go of that control is to look at the thing that you're struggling and resisting and ask yourself, what good can come from this? That's the question I always ask myself when a challenge arises, so that I can shift my perspective to focus on the positive and not be stuck in the suffering and victimhood mentality. Can't do that for my children. Sorry, I don't know if I can accept it. Tell me about spiritual bypassing. You know, it's very interesting that you say that, because I just got on, I just shared that I was doing a tarot call, and on that call, it was about her daughter and her teenage daughter, you know, harming herself. There's all kinds of things that came up with that, and it took me back to my childhood. Like, I understand that she's a growing teenage child that needs to go through some of these painful lessons. And the advice that I gave her is, although you're her mother and you want nothing but love and peace for your daughter, what I need to tell you is that you have to let go of the control and the expectation that you can fix and heal your child, because just as you know, you only learn through experience. You don't learn when someone says, hey, don't touch that hot stove. You learn by touching that hot stove and be like, oh hell, I am not touching that hot stove again. Like, I learned my lesson. So as much as moms want to control the safety and protection of their children, sometimes it's the suffering that causes them their greatest breakthrough. So as much as I understand you say, I can't accept that, you're going to have to accept that you're going to suffer, and as long as you hold on to that expectation or control about your children. You can want the best for them, but you can't control the way that the best shows up in their life. There is a fine line. You're absolutely right. And that's what I told her. I said, now to a certain degree of, you know, taking a step back and offering love as a friend versus as a controlling parent, there's a different vibe, and there is a very fine line, and it's going to take practice and patience and willingness to experiment with that. All right, next card for the week. Let's see what came up. Oh, shit, this card came up 8,000 times when I was filming the Oracle 101 card or class, and now this card is here. Forgive someone. So, honey, maybe this card ties into the conversation. Is one, we have to forgive ourselves for the things that we can't do, didn't do, or should have done, or want to do but haven't. And two, we need to forgive the animosity that we have towards other people when they played a beautiful part in our healing, our transformation, and our growth. So right now, when you hear the words forgive someone, who's the first person that comes to mind, or what's that feeling that arises? Is it yourself? Is it a parent? Is it a loved one? Is it an ex-friend? Think about that heaviness that you're still holding on to, the burdens, the pain of the past, or anything that's still lingering that doesn't feel good or feel heavy. This requires forgiveness to find that freedom to accept. Here we go, to accept the lesson that caused us pain and learn that we grew and we found the wisdom that we needed to be able to leave behind what wasn't working anymore. All right, what else? Any thoughts, ideas, questions on what's coming up? Oh, let me catch up with these comments here on Facebook. You guys are so amazing. Forgive someone. Who's that person you need to let go to find that peace? Who do you need to release to find peace? This is an important time for you to really clear the slate and to start fresh. You know, for me in my life, I've done like a mental inventory of like, what is there anything from the past that I'm still holding on to that I'm upset about or mad about? And for me, when I do these types of reflection, you know, Mercury retrograde's a great time to do that. However, we've got like 19,000 planets in retrograde or going retrograde at this time. So there's going to be a lot of refocusing, reevaluating, reframing the way that we see things. And that is how we find that freedom and forgiveness, is when we reframe those negative, harmful, painful things of the past, and we find the solution, the silver lining, and we see, oh, you know, because of that hashtag Me Too movement or moment, I was able to join the movement 10 years, 20 years later to be able to stand up for my sisters and say, you know what, we don't deserve this kind of treatment. We're gonna do something differently by actually speaking up for ourselves. So you never know how sometimes maybe the painful things in the past end up being your greatest source of power to move you forward along your path. Let's see, last card for the week, had to find it. Be bold and don't be afraid to stand out. This card always reminds me of my grandmother, because before she passed, I had her pull a card from the deck to see which card represented her, and it was this card. And what I love so much about my grandmother is that she was a 5'10" Icelandic woman living in America, not even knowing how to speak the language. So it took courage and confidence for her to express herself and to be bold in a world that she was like totally new to. So I want to encourage you that sometimes it takes being bold. Sometimes it takes standing up and to defend what you believe in, even if you're the minority, even if you're the only one who is standing on your rock of authenticity and truth. It is well worth being and taking that risk and being bold to stand up for what you believe in. This is a card to say, put on the damn lipstick. This is a card that is a reminder that when you make those bold moves, the universe counteracts and replicates also that same type of bold move. So when you say, you know what, I'm gonna take that leap of faith, I'm gonna have courage, and I'm gonna say, fuck the fear and do it anyway. When you make those bold moves, the universe rewards you with beautiful opportunities and experiences to match that level of courage that you're putting out into the world. So if you're wanting something new and different in your life, take a bold move, like be bold and try something different, whether that be put on the damn bright lipstick that you've been wanting to wear because it makes you feel good, or to leave that toxic relationship, or to start that new job. And you know, I find so many people wanting to go into business for themselves, but they feel like they need to follow some kind of blueprint because they don't know what to do. And although yes, there is there is structure to success. Oh my gosh, my dyslexia has been off the charts today. There is structure to success. However, there is no blueprint. And so when you're wanting to create something new that's never been done before, there's nowhere to look and say, am I doing this right? So many light workers feel like, am I on the right path? You'll know that you're on the right path when you're choosing the things that light you up and bring you joy. You'll know that you're on the right path. And here's the thing, you're always on the right path, but are you doing your mission? Are you serving your purpose? And that is the difference. The way that you serve your purpose is you constantly tune into, how can I be present and bring joy into this moment? And any opportunity that gives you the challenge that shakes you from your center of joy and peace, you can thank those experiences, because those are actually what help you to cultivate that inner peace and stillness within. Katie says, fuck the fear and do it anyway. Absolutely. Fear shows up when you're headed in the right direction. You'll know you're on your right path when fear starts coming up and your inner mean girl is like, nope, not good enough. You can't do that. You need to know this, or blah, 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 blah. Whatever that inner mean girl is saying, you can bet the thing right before that is the exact internal clarity of guidance that you need to move forward on your path. So you only second guess yourself, and you only have fear come up when you're actually onto it, when you're headed in the right direction, when you have that intuitive thought and you're like, man, I really want to do that. And then you have this fear that comes in and says, well, you can't do that because X, Y, and Z. You know that you're headed in the right direction if fear is showing up, because that is the thing that is at the gate of your comfort zone. And when you break through the fear and through that comfort zone, you actually expand your comfort zone rather than leaving it behind. And that allows you to be able to accept more hard times in life, to be able to know that you have the faith to come back to that center of stability and peace no matter what happens in your life. All right, beautiful. Tony says, kind of, but need to go bigger. Wow, love that. You guys are so amazing. Hell to the yes, you will know. Yeah, you will know. You'll know when you're in the flow, because the challenges that happen are only to teach you to grow and to teach you to get back into that flow. So you experience the challenges and the struggles when you find yourself deviating off the path. And what the path is your 100% confidence and belief that you are here for a reason and that you deserve to feel loved and joy. Hashtag confirmations, Alyssa says. Man, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I want to know, did you love this message? Was there an aha moment for you that maybe you need to relax a little, to let go of the situations that you can't control and to choose a better feeling, because that's the only thing we can take responsibility for whenever it's out of our control? Do you need to forgive someone, or do you need to step out and be bold? This is your call to put fear aside, to step up, to believe in yourself, and to stand out and say, you know what, things weren't working before and I want to do them differently. This is what I want to create, and this is the direction I'm going. And the ones that support you will show up, and the ones that aren't there to support you will fall away. And I want you to be okay with being bold and letting go of the things that aren't serving you or supporting you along your journey, because when you let go of those things and you only focus on what is moving you forward, you end up attracting the people and the experiences that you need to help keep that momentum going. Oh, hey Signy, so good to see you. Definitely love your message, soul sister. I need hair help. Oh my gosh, well, it's interesting. I just did a poll on Instagram and asked, do you want to see more spiritual woo-woo stuff? Would you like to see more self-love and self-care and confidence? Would you like to see more behind the scenes and business building tips? Or would you like to know all things hair and how I run my 6-figure salon suite? And I am blown away. Like 200 people chose hair and growing a 6-figure salon suite over all the spiritual stuff, all the self-confidence, all of that. I'm like, okay, clearly there's something here to talk about. So you'll start to see some shifts and changes coming from me and what I offer, because as you know, I've been a hairdresser for over 13 years. And when I stepped out from behind the chair 6 years ago to get online and to spread this message of self-love and empowerment, I left behind that version of myself. However, I work 3 days in the salon and I start back tomorrow. Everyone send me some love. I don't even know how to handle going back to work yet. We'll see how it feels and we'll make some changes and adjustments from there. But this is just a really beautiful time for you to do things differently. And for me, that is definitely happening in my life. All of the above. Yeah, what was your biggest aha moment for today? What are you walking away from? And if you know a soul sister who would love this message, please invite them to join the Shine Tribe Sisterhood, to check out every Wednesday we offer Woo Woo Wednesday, and every Friday the Elevated Life series, where we teach you simple mindset shifts to create radical transformation in your life. I definitely need to step out and be bold. I've had anxiety for years and I'm working on releasing the fear and anxiety. You know, Alyssa, I believe you're in the Elevated Life Club, and there's an entire masterclass on overcoming anxiety. And the thing that we taught in that class is that, you know, being anxious means you're living in the future and planning to fail. That's the only way you can cultivate the energy of anxiety. So it's really about how we make those simple mindset shifts that do create radical transformation, so that you no longer have to feel anxious about anything. Or if fear comes up, you no longer are debilitated by it, or, you know, stuck because fear seems so big. It is all about making these simple mindset shifts. And I think that if you're someone who is struggling with setting those boundaries as an empath, or you have so much stress and anxiety and you don't know how to stay motivated or stick to your self-care routines or have the confidence, I mean, these are topics that we cover inside the Elevated Life membership. There are masterclasses from success to spirituality. And I really hope that you take advantage of this time that you have to be able to learn and grow in every area of your life, so that when you come out on the other side of all this change and transformation, you've done the necessary work to leave behind the baggage that isn't building you up, and to adopt new mindsets and modalities and tools that help you to be confident in moving towards a future that you love. Your hair is amazing. My hair needs love. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much. I've been growing my hair for about 11 years. So people ask me all the time, like, what's your secret? It's patience, y'all, and no heat. Alyssa says, yes, I've been going through the Elevated Life classes and just started Shine School. Well, I highly recommend you check out going back and checking out the Overcoming Anxiety Masterclass. The 3 meditations that we guide you through in the class, oh my gosh, total game changer. We had people that were having such anxiety that they couldn't even drive from work to home. They'd have to pull over and they would have a panic attack. And through this masterclass, people have regained their power and eliminated that anxiety, only because of the simple shifts that you have to make in your mind. But if you don't know how to make them, then it can seem so hard. So I hope that you take some time to check that out. What else do you guys have? Can you say that again? I don't know what you want me to say again. If you're more specific, I can maybe say it again. That's what I get for asking to learn to go with the flow. Absolutely. We love your spiritual guidance too. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Hey Stacy, so good to see you. All right, any other thoughts, questions, or ideas before I hop off of here? This was a really beautiful reading. Remember, this is the time of shifts and change, so don't feel like you need to know all of the answers right off the bat. All you need to know is what you want out of this next chapter in your life and your journey. What direction do you want to go? What area do you want to focus on? Is that building wealth for yourself? Is it creating more health and vibrancy? Is it making better connections and relationships? Is it to ditching all of the drama and taking a self-love sabbatical and turning inward to figure out who the hell am I. Alyssa's taking that self-love journey in Shine School, and you know, it's really cool to see when people take the time to build their foundation with confidence and self-love, that they become these unstoppable badasses that just can't help but manifest all the cool magical things in their life. So I really hope that you're using this time to explore who you are and what you want out of life, and then have the courage to demand it and show up and take action that takes you in that direction. All right, what do you think it means if I can't find my purpose and can't find a stable job? I have a chronic illness, so when I'm overwhelmed, I give up and leave a job. Well, there's a lot to unpack in just that short paragraph. I think that the first part of it, tying to not being able to find my purpose, is going back to what I reminded you, that everyone has the same purpose in life, and that is to feel joy. So if you can't find it, then keep exploring, because you've only looked in certain modalities that don't really light you up or bring you joy. So it's really about experimenting and giving yourself permission to dabble. I've had a hair salon, a photography company, a tarot reading company, a business coaching company. I have tried real estate with my husband. I have tried all these different modalities, and what I have found in trying all these different avenues is that the core essence beneath all the things that I did like was empowering women. So it's really important for you to give yourself the space to continue to explore. As far as chronic illness goes, you know, I'm gonna say that I'm not a doctor, and you're probably not gonna like this, but when it comes to things like that, we have to really look at, where are they stemming from? What is this root cause of it? Is it an emotional or spiritual connection that is causing this physical manifestation? And a lot of people think that the physical comes first, and that is just not accurate. The energetic is what manifests into the physical. So if there's some kind of chronic illness, then there's a chronic negative thought process or belief, and that is where I want you to start exploring. Also, when you get overwhelmed, you give up and quit. Then you're gonna have to pick something that excites you more than overwhelms you, so that you don't give up. Because there's many times that I wanted to quit on creating this Oracle deck. There's many times that I wanted to quit while creating Shine School, or quit while building my successful salon. So it's really just about having the clarity of saying, you know what, this is really what interests me and excites me in this moment, and then follow that. Follow what feels good. Great question, honey. The anxiety quote. Yes, anxiety is living in the future and planning to fail. This was quoted by my husband. He had this epiphany that, you know, the only reason why anxiety comes up is because we take our mind out of the present moment and project and imagine what we don't fucking want. Can you guys agree with me on that? When you feel anxious, it's most likely because you're going out into the future and being like, I don't know if this is gonna happen. I don't know if they're gonna like me. I don't know, and you're projecting all the worrisome things about the outcome. If you really wanna be a true fucking powerful badass, you have to, if you're gonna leave the present moment, because that's it, that's all we have is this present moment. If you're going to leave, at least leave and go project what you do want, because we know by law of attraction, we end up attracting what we focus on. And the reason why we attract these experiences that are creating the anxiety is so that we can overcome it and recognize that we're the ones that need to take responsibility for us putting that thought or energy out there. I may trigger a lot of you sharing this conversation right now. Good, because if it triggers you, then there's healing work to be done. So know that it's important for you to take responsibility by saying, the only reason why I'm feeling anxious is because I'm using my creative imagination to come up with all the things on why it could go wrong and be awful. Be present and attract what you do want. Bingo, you guys are getting it. You're paying attention. No, it's definitely trauma that leads to it. This is my first time tuning in. Hold on, it's scrolling by. Do you book sessions? Absolutely. As I was sharing, I just got off a session right before this, and it was really beautiful to see the connections and the confirmations that she had. So if you're someone who's like, I want to dive deeper and find those pain points or find those old beliefs that are holding me back, then you can book a one-on-one reading and empowerment call with me by going to brittanycarmichael.com/tarot. And I've got a little bit of time left in this month for booking one-on-one sessions. So I highly recommend, if you're ready to release all of that pain and all the bullshit that's stopping you from shining your light and being your greatest, most badass self, then I highly recommend you connect with me on that that one-on-one call. It's really the most powerful work that I do is working one-on-one with women to help them break through the fear that stops them from intuitively trusting themselves. It's so powerful to see that aha click moment where you're like, oh my God, I already knew that. And when you realize that you already intuitively knew something that's being confirmed by a cards or a psychic or whatever the case may be, or a coach, you build that confidence that you need to be able to be your own guru. And for me, that's the greatest work that I can do, is not to be your teacher forever, but to be your guru in the moment so that you can understand that you have the information and the wisdom within. All right, anything else you guys have for me? I definitely need a lot of healing over here. All right, sending you so much sparkle magic, healing, and love. Can I interview you soon? Yes, you can. Reach out to my support team. You can find me, Diana, thank you for sharing the link. You guys are amazing. You can reach out to Sharon. She will hook you up with my schedule, and I would be happy to share on your podcasts or anything that you guys have to offer. I'm just checking out your comments over here on Facebook. Love you and Shine School. Love you and Shine School is the best. Thank you, Anne and Julia. You guys are such amazing supporters, and I truly appreciate it. I will definitely check out the anxiety one. I've learned so much already. Okay, Alyssa, I think you're gonna love that one, especially if you're struggling with anxiety. All right, any other questions? You are very inspiring. Thank you so much. You know, about 6 years ago, I wrote on a piece of paper, I want to be an inspirational leader. And I'll be damned, I made that clear and definite decision, even though I didn't know how, even though I didn't know when, or what does that even mean, honestly? And all I did was set that intention, is that I want to show up and inspire people to believe in themselves, to love themselves, to stop beating themselves up, and to be their own bestie. And I'll be damned, 6 years, 7 years later, after writing that intention in my little wish box, I get these messages all the time. You're so inspiring. And the truth is, you are so inspiring. I just happen to finally have the courage to get on camera and not give a shit if you guys are judging me or not, and share the message of love. And the truth is, you all have a message to share, whether it be through video, through your voice, through writing. There is something that you have to offer the world, and it is your beautiful heart. And it doesn't take a CEO or college graduate degree or $1 billion or anything like that. All you need is to show up with pure love and joy in your heart, and you are serving your purpose. I made the decision when I was 14. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I love that. You just radiate love and peace. I love it. Thank you so much. Guys, my nickname used to be Bitch Knee, and I had like short black hair covered in piercings, and I was hiding my light because I was beating myself up. And that's why I'm on a mission to help you uncover your inner sparkle magic. So thank you for noticing that. Namaste. I see that within you guys too. And if you know a soul sister who would love this inspiring message, please tag them, share it, subscribe, like, all the things to spread the good vibes, and I will see you guys soon. We'll be talking with you on Friday on the Elevated Life, all about overcoming the fear that stops you from shining your light. So I will catch you guys on Friday for the Elevated Life series. If you are an empath and you need better boundaries to become a badass, then don't miss your opportunity to check out the masterclass inside the Elevated Life membership club this month, and I hope to catch you guys on Friday for the live series. Oh my gosh, my throat chakra is done for today. I appreciate all the love and support. I will catch you guys soon. Peace.